Please introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Yeah, Ritchie Daley, bass player, Third World.
Ian Lewis, bass player, Inner Circle.
Let's first take it back. Third World and Inner Circle have a very long history together. Ian, why don't you explain to us where that history began, how far back it goes, and where it began?
It began in 1973, where Third World was birthed out of Inner Circle. We were like going to school together as young 12-year-old and 11-year-old and some 16 and so on and so on. And, you know, we share the same experience throughout the years, exchanged thoughts in music, and just about learning our instruments at the same time and getting exposed to what kind of music was being played all over the world and all the different influences. So that's our beginning. Okay,
so now Ian, take us up to today. Now we have the two coming back together after 30 years, coming back together for a big night at the Adrian Arts Center, at a performing arts center at that. A night called the Reggae Jam. Explain to us how you go from those humble beginnings to playing a big performing arts center like this on February 24th.
Well, we see it as in America they call it coming home, homecoming. And we feel it's a good venue to stage this reggae music phenomena. As question was asked today, Cat is a classical trained cello player, so it's it's different elements that we can bring to and if people who never really heard reggae music like that before, they should come and check it out, because it's going to be something different like they never heard before as I said, in a performing arts venue like that. So I think the coming together of the both bands shows the unity and the strength of where reggae music is today.
So tell us what else we can expect on that night on the Reggae Jam. What else can we expect that night other than Inner Circle, Third World, and maybe some orchestration? What else can we expect? Because there's a couple other elements that are
big. Yes, there was a prominent singer, very iconic singer by the name of Jacob Miller, which I went to school with at some time in my life in the early days, and he was Inner Circle main force, and we were paying tribute to him that night, because he was big love to Jacob Miller. He's never forgotten. And so this whole event is to commemorate his memory, and we're looking forward to people coming out and sharing this with us. And we have a lot of pleasant surprise coming up in this thing. And both bands are in rehearsal now, specifically for that event. It's also the 50th year of Jamaica's independence, so we're adding all those little features inside the whole afternoon, and it's going to be great.
There's also, on top of the 50-year anniversary, there's also something that you're introducing that night called the Reggae Wave. Why don't you explain the Reggae Wave to us, Ian?
Well, the Reggae Wave was just born out of an organic feel for reggae music, in the sense that, we just searching the internet, we have found out there's over 300 organic reggae bands across America. These are kids, predominantly white, who have dedicated their life and the love to reggae music. And, they vary from ages 15 up to 35. So we just looked around in Florida and found the bands, including a Jewish band, including a Spanish reggae band, including, basically, all American, kids growing up and influenced by reggae music, both by Bob Marley and the vibe of the reggae music, and a Haitian group, Jaffe, a very good group who has that spiritual vibe. And we think basically that's what is kind of lacking, that the people want to get closer and get introduced to reggae music on these different levels, to understand that this music is a music from the inside. It's not outside, it's an inside music that people have dedicated their life to reggae music. And we just want to show the world that reggae music can unite, if we believe and we come together.